We're here in the shadow of Center Block, and of course, there are picketing workers here, public sector workers, and NDP Leader Jagmeet Singh, who has said that he would not support any legislation to force these workers back to work. But, what do you feel right now could release or end perhaps this labor stalemate?
A fair contract. These workers are the workers that were there for Canadians when people needed help the most during the pandemic. These are the workers that delivered unprecedented supports, financial supports to people. And now they're asking for respect and dignity. They're feeling the squeeze of inflation. These are some of the lower paid public sector workers, and they're demanding respect, which I fully support. The whole New Democratic Party and the caucus is in full support. And the solution here is the government has to deliver a contract, fairly negotiated, that respects these workers.
We've heard that working from home, having that enshrined in the collective bargaining agreement in some way, could be one of the sticking points. What do you say to Canadians at home that may have concerns about this type of work stoppage happening over something like the right to work from home?
Well, ultimately, the workers are going to decide what a fair contract is, and these are workers. Their circumstances are something that they can defend and explain, and we're in full support of them. The idea of having flexibility for workers in a time as difficult as the one we're in right now, and having that ability to have that flexibility to work from home is something we support. Ultimately, the government has to come to an agreement that respects these workers. Like in all negotiations, there's going to be give and take, but these workers need respect, and we're fully in solidarity with them.
The 9% cumulative wage increase over 3 years from the government, they're saying that's a fair and competitive offer. Clearly, that's not something that the union has thought is fair and competitive. Do you think that the government's come with a good faith, fair offer?
Well, I want the government to keep on negotiating. So far, the contract or the offer is not good enough for these workers, and I support the workers. What the government needs to do is now listen to the workers. They're saying it's not fair, it's not respecting what we're going through, and the government's got to step up.
How does this affect your agreement with the Liberals to support them on confidence measures? Obviously, part of that deal is anti-scab legislation. There's some other union measures within that deal. So how does this work stoppage affect that relationship that the NDP has with the Liberals in Parliament?
Well, we made it really clear, and I said this directly to the Prime Minister when we were just laying out the agreement, the things that were non-starters, the things that were just not on the table. And I said, one thing has to be very clear. We will never support back-to-work legislation. That will never be a part of this deal. And the Prime Minister understood that, made it very clear that we will never support that. We believe in negotiating agreements. We believe in respecting workers. And so that was always understood as not being a part of the deal. We made it very expressly clear that we would be able to vote against back-to-work legislation and never support it, and that would not in any way be involved with the deal.
Obviously, this is early days for all of this, but do you have any concerns about public support? Obviously, you're saying the government needs to treat these workers fairly, but there's also private sector workers that are looking at the services that will be impacted because of this strike. And there is some concern that some of the demands of the wage increases, work from home, and so on might not be something that a lot of private sector workers have sympathy for. What's your response to that?
I say these workers are not fighting just for themselves, they're fighting for all workers. The ability to have a wage that reflects the squeeze of inflation is something that all workers deserve. So when they're fighting for that here, they're able to set the precedent for private sector workers as well. This fight is a fight for all workers. The ability to be able to work from home, if that's something that worker chooses to do, or that's something in the best interest of the worker, is something that private sector workers absolutely would like to have the same flexibility. So the fight that these workers are bringing is a fight for all workers. The fight for dignity and respect is one that's going to impact all workers. And like we know, whenever the public sector workers raise the bar, it improves working conditions for all workers. So this is a solidarity movement. This is a fight for everyone who is a working person.